What's going on, Buckeye Nation, YouTube family? This is another episode of Walks Buckeye Talks. Coming back at you. I've been on vacation, so I wasn't able to do a recap of the Youngstown State game. So I'm gonna do a brief recap of what I saw during that game. Uh, Once again, it's important to get the win. So we got the dub. It's a 2-0 from the Bucks. I thought it was an okay game. I'm glad that we got to see a little bit more of Devin Brown. We got to see Kyle McCord going there. As I stated before, we got to get the ball in the hands of Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Ibuka. And it looks like Ryan Day and staff was headed that direction, getting them touches. Marvin Harrison with a big touchdown early on in the game kind of set the tone for the offense. And then on the defensive side, we were okay. I know people wasn't happy about the slot fade on Cam Martinez, but I thought it was pretty good coverage. Honestly, better throws. A good throw will always defeat a good defense. But I thought all in all it was a solid performance. It wasn't too crazy. Do I think we could have scored more points? Of course, most definitely. I think Ryan Day was just using these first two games as preseason games, getting some fill out. I thought on both sides it was a very vanilla, very basic. That's what it should be against these teams. You should be able to out talent these teams. Just using basic things. Maybe you turn a little, you change a little bit of formation here and there, but for the most part, we should be able to dominate these guys and be pretty basic because we understand that we're more talented than this Youngstown State. But credit to them, they showed a lot of heart. They came down and marched it down, completed some big third downs throughout the game actually, and they ended up scoring a touchdown on us. So credit to them. I think they were ranked in FSC division. I think they were like a top 20 team. So they got some studs on that team. So credit to them. But all in all, I think the Buckeyes. I think Kyle McCord was a little bit more comfortable. He missed a couple throws. The double coverage one post route was a little sketchy against a better team. That's an interception. So he just has to be better. But he looked more comfortable. He looks like the speed was slowed down a lot. And that's what you like to see from a first-time starter quarterback. You like to see the game slowing down for him. I saw him going into different reads. The one he hit on Marvin Harrison was beautiful. He licked the safety off and came back. I don't know if it was a busted coverage, but 70 yard touchdown. Some big time throws through the third down. I think he hit Marvin Harrison on like a dig route. Beautiful ball. A little bit behind him, but for the most part, it was pretty good. And so all in all, I'm impressed. Like I stated, I wasn't able to do a reaction video on that because I was on family vacation in the Bahamas. So I didn't get the best connection. I didn't want to mess up a video. So, but I'm happy that we got the win. So so let's move forward to game 3, Western Kentucky. Been hearing all off season, especially leading up to this game, that this game is going to be very interesting for the Buckeyes, a team that likes to spread the ball around, likes to get it out in space. That's been really our Achilles heel for a while now on defense. When we play other big time schools, big time matchups, it seemed like I remember like years back when we played Oklahoma, when they came to shoe and beat us pretty good. It seemed like they were trying to get us out in space, get those backers running. It seemed like Oregon, even though we beat them, but Oregon, they try to get the ball out in space and make us run a little bit. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. It's in the shoe. Hopefully the shoe is rocking. The quarterback, Austin Reed, can sling it. I think he threw for 5,000 yards last year. I think he is about 500 yards in 2 games, no interceptions. They got some playmakers on the outside. So this is going to be a very good test for our defense and for our offense. If we giving up points, can our offense hold their own and move the ball and chew up some clock and also extend drives. It's just not a defensive matchup that I'm looking for. I'm looking also for the offense. Can we keep up? If early on it's turned into a shootout, you don't want to get behind too much. But all in all, I do predict the Buckeyes to win. But offensively, I think Kyle McCord, we got a starter now. And as I watched him game 1 in Indiana, I was there in person, and he just looked a little uncomfortable. He looked like a first-time starter. And second game, he was a lot better. So hopefully this game he can really start to dive deep and be confident, more confident, and not looking over his shoulder and just playing some good football, man. We just need him to not make mistakes and be a leader on that offense and the offensive line. Uh, we need to get the ball, the running backs going also. The offensive line needs to block up front, control the ball, control the clock a little bit, get it out that explosive offensive hands. I love what I saw from Travion Henderson last game. He was explosive. That hurdle, I didn't even know he could do that. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. A guy that talented, that I didn't even know he could do something like that. Like that was big time for me to see that. And man, we need to get like I'm back on the Travion Henderson train. I really am. If we can use him and Chip and Mayan, just get them that three-headed monster, just going an offensive line, just blocking well and open up holes, man, this offense could be very dangerous, especially running that ball, man. But I love to see Travion. He looked explosive. I saw him cut up the middle. He kind of looked like a little bit of JK right there when he was planting his foot, cut up the middle, made a guy miss and got the touchdown. So I love what I saw from Travion. Let's get him confident, more touches, getting him out in the backfield, catching the ball a little bit more. And then it's just up to the O-line to make things happen for us. This team will go as far as the O-line takes them. We should be able to upfront punish people. I heard Justin Fry this week say he wants the O-line to be more violent. I think all Buckeye Nation fans been asking for that. We want an offensive line that's violent, man. We don't care about assignment. Just if you see somebody, hit them hard. Be violent. Push them down. Pancakes, and everything else will figure itself out. So I'm excited to see the offensive line today, and receivers. Like I said, I think this is a big step for to get more involved with Julian Fleming, get him more confident. I would like to see the freshman Cardinal Tate in there making plays. I think he's the sleeper on this team. Something about that kid, I think he's a sleeper. I think in big games he can make big plays for us and give some pressure off of Marvin Harrison and Mecca. I think he's the one, whether it's Notre Dame, whether it's Penn State, Wisconsin, or even the last game of the year in Michigan. I think that kid is going to be very special for us. So I'm looking forward to him. And also, just getting more confident, getting Macomb McCord more confident, getting Marvin Harrison more touches, and Mecca, get him going. He's been kind of got a little steamroll a little bit last year. I'm sorry, against Youngstown State. He got I think he had like 90 yards, a touchdown. So let's get the ball in their hands so they can make plays. So offensive wise, I'm excited to see what we can do, especially against the offense on the other end that can put points up. So this is going to be a tough task for them also. Our Western Kentucky defense is not that good. So we should be able to make plays and do what we need to do on offensive end and move the ball, because we know what's next week for the offense. It's that Notre Dame defense. Now, on the other side, defense. All week, the last 2 weeks we've been hearing, can the defensive line cause havoc and cause pressure? In the first 2 games, it's been very vanilla. Not too many pressures for the end position. The defensive tackle positions has been very good, very solid. Tyleek, Mike Hall, Caden Curry, they've been very solid up the middle. Now, in the end, this is the game for them. I know they're going to try to get the ball out quick in space, but eventually they're going to have to throw the ball downfield. And this is the game for them to really show the Buckeye Nation, show the world what they're made out of. I'm a big fan of JTT. I like the Sawyer kid, but like JTT, this is NFL money on the line, So he has to show that he can be disruptive, and I know he causes a lot of havoc as far as this, just disruption. But I know sometimes players, I think he's the type of player who may not get the sack totals, but he causes a lot of damage on the line. He disrupts a lot of stuff, and sometimes I'll take that also. If it's getting the backfield, messing up plays, getting a quarterback, getting it out his hands a little sooner than he wants to, messing the rhythm up, I like that also. I know everybody wants Chase Young or Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa, but I don't think he's that type of player. But I do expect him to have a big game. The ends to have a big game. It seems like when, as athletes, sometimes when we're getting talked about a lot about what we can't do, it seems like we come alive a lot better. So I'm expecting big on the defensive line today. I think everybody's going to have a big day. Linebackers, they've been consistent for the most part. Tommy Steele, Cody Simon showed a little flash last game. So I like to see him in there also. And of course, I know everybody wants CJ Hicks. So I want to see all the linebackers just moving around and getting busy. So I'm excited. And then the secondary, I think this is the game for them. This is the game for them. Safeties, this is the game for them. You know, corner's been playing pretty consistent. Nickel, Iggy, Denzel Burke. She's looking like old Denzel Burke. I'm loving him. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. From game 1 to game 2, I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. But the safeties, Latham Ransom. I'm high on Latham. I'm high on Josh Proctor. You know, so I'm high on Sonny Styles. I like the Jahad Carter. He played pretty good last game. So safeties, this is you guys' time to shine, man. Latham was a Biletnikoff. I'm so sorry. That's receivers. He was a Thorpe finalist. Receiving votes to be a finalist for the Thorpe Award. So he has it in him. I think he has a lot of talent. He can hit, but can he cover? Can he cover in space? Can he make tackles in space? And that's going to be a thing that the safety is going to have to do. We're going to contend for a Big Ten championship and even a national championship. Our safety is going to have to contend in space, and that's what makes Georgia so special. That's what makes honestly Michigan been good at it this last couple years. That's what makes Alabama. They can tackle in space. They can get people down when they need to instead of a 15-yard gain or a 10-yard gain. They can shut people down and tackle in space and make them have a 3 or 4 yard gain where it's 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 5. You know, instead of first and 10, converting on a long 3rd down. We got to get people in space. Proctor, I'm high on Proctor this year. This is the game for him to win over people. You know, can he tackle in space? Can he not be out of position? Can he break down? This is the game for him. So the safety is going to have to come alive. Also the corners. You know, I know I'm speaking highly of the corners, but this is also a game for them. They have playmakers that can get the ball in the hands, that can make people miss, that can take it to the house. So Denzel Burke continue playing well. Hancock, Iggy. Let's get back to the silver bullets, man. So defense is a big game for them too. You know what I mean? Like I said, the defense is going to have to carry this team a lot. Breaking in a starting quarterback, they're going to have to make key stops. That's what I'm focusing on. Can they make key stops throughout the game? I think like last year, that was our Achilles heel. Defense wasn't as bad as it showed at times, but we just couldn't make key stops in big-time games, Michigan and Georgia. And I think this is the time. This is where the season starts. It gets harder, in my opinion. You know, you have Western Kentucky, who's a different style. That's going to be different that we haven't faced in a long time. Then after that, you have Notre Dame, and then I believe we have a 2 weeks, and then it's Maryland, who's a tough team that always plays as well. Then we have to go to Purdue. So these are some games that I know on paper we have more talent, but breaking in a first-time quarterback, first-year starter quarterback, a defense who's hasn't found its identity, offensive line who's still finding identity. Those games could be tough. And that Purdue one is always tough because it's on the road. So I'm looking forward. This is where the season starts. This is where we need to be locked in, focused, a clean game, no penalties, no turnovers. So I'm looking forward to it. So once again, this is another episode of Walks Buckeye Talks. I'm looking forward to this game. This is my analysis prior to the game. So once again, like, subscribe, comment. Give me some feedback. Talk Buckeye Talk. I'm open. I'm also on Twitter. So look me up. Walks Buckeye Talks. I'll have another reaction video after the Western Kentucky game today, probably tomorrow. So if you want to tune in, that would be great. And that's another episode. God bless. Have a great Saturday. Go Bucks.